Tonight on Debate Amongst Friends, Warriors and Cavs reach the Matrix as the trilogy is upon us. Will you choose the red pill or the blue pill? Surprise NBA players who could be up for a max deal. And some Hippocratic statements coming from Giants camp, starting now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, welcome to Debates Among Friends, the weekly sports podcast who provide you, the people, with the facts that you need and the facts you deserve. This is the 56th edition of this sports podcast on May 31st, 2017. I am your host, the Professor John Gotti, and always by my side, a man who needs no introduction, but I'll give him one anyway. Doc Ocean, how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing pretty well, sir. How about yourself?
I can't complain. I'm hyped for the finals. I'm perturbed by these contracts that I know you are all over with the reads. I'm saddened and confused about the hypocrisy, and I worry for the Tiger.
I could understand that. I mean, it's definitely something to worry about. I hated some of the highlights of the Tiger saga, and I hated some of the memes, of course, but we'll definitely get into that. Where should we start, sir?
Well, as everyone knows, the NBA Finals start tomorrow. So, I mean, I don't know if it's just dumb luck by us or just reads, hashtag Professor Got Reads, hashtag Dr. Got Reads, that we were to be able to provide our preview for the NBA Finals the day before it begins. So let's start there, sir. We have the coin of phrase now. Trilogy.
Trilogy, yeah. That's the big thing. That's the big thing, Trilogy.
Yeah, that's all everyone's talking about.
Yeah, that is all everybody's talking about. It's so weird. But that's what we got. I hate it for basketball, but if that's the way they want to play it, I guess that's what we have to deal with.
It's a first. I mean, we never seen this happen before in, the NBA.
Because we shouldn't see it in the NBA.
And we shouldn't. You're right.
These are professional basketball players. I mean, they gotta have heart.
I see what you did there. I mean, but it's never... See, that's where I have to disagree with you. It's not about the heart that's the issue. Oh, gosh. It's about the desire to want to be the best against your peers.
I don't know, because Kawhi would beg to differ. James Harden would beg to differ. Russell Westbrook. These guys would beg to differ.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about it as, a kid growing up watching basketball, watching these great teams compete against each other, nearly kill each other on the court. To say that they're the best. And granted, the methodology has changed and, completely did a 180 over the last 20 years. But, I mean, I'm just looking at it as I just want people who really want to just beat the best.
Honestly, I think what it is, looking at who's doing what, it seems like 2003, 2004 maybe the year in which that player was born who didn't want to be just great. They wanted to really win titles and really by any means necessary.
Oh, Nation of Domination.
Uh-oh. But when you think about it, guys before used to want to be great. They even LeBron when he first came in. But just think about this draft, and I'm just going to go over. We'll just go over some of the top 10 picks here from that 2003 draft, and this is the only reason I bring this up.
Go for it.
LeBron James,
Lebanon.
Carmelo Anthony,
What?
Chris Bosh,
What?
and Dwayne Wade.
What?
So I mean, when you think about it, that's where things started to change a little bit. It's pretty funny that Luke Walton was in that same draft, but yeah, that's something completely different. That's pretty hilarious, though. But right there at that moment, it was all about individual self, and it went from individual self to, man, let's grow up a little bit. I've tried to do this by myself, and I just can't do it. I mean, would you agree with that?
I can agree with that. But I mean, is it more on the player though, or is it more on the front office, that fact that they can't acquire the right pieces to put around them to get the job done?
Well, I don't know because it seems like the players are kind of taking the ball
I see what you
right
did
out,
there.
right from the GM. Like they don't even have a. It seems like they don't even have a choice anymore. Hey, I want you to go sign these people, and let's make it happen.
Right, because these, I mean, I blame the front office for that. They're dumb enough to sign a CBA that benefits the players as much.
They did. I can't disagree with that. Um, but you have to. I mean, you have to give, of course, to get. Only thing about it, and of course, I think we talked about this. I think I told you when I was playing NBA 2K17 maybe a week or so ago, and I just wanted to see how it would be to like. There's a mode called starting today or something like that, and if you click it, it basically puts you in the playoffs, and whatever team you pick, it starts with that particular player or with that particular team, and wherever they are in the season. So if they're eliminated, whatever. But when it goes into free agency, you start seeing those $200 million contracts. So, um, yeah, it's definitely interesting.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
just cut and dry. It is what it is.
yeah. So I think for me, it's really how are we going to get back to individuals wanting to stand on their own 2 feet, really,
Yes.
and basically play basketball. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. But, I think the people need to understand it more so you can elaborate for them.
Well, I think you have to have people. Well, first of all, you got to have a control of the cap, and I never liked unlimited cap, and that's why I feel like it is like all these rules that they put in place where these super teams can be kind of created, and then of course when you have people like these big threes that come together, in which people are willing to take less money. I mean, that's so crazy to me. So to me, it's like I'm not even sure. Like, how do we go about doing that? I mean, when I look at the Rockets, the Thunder, you know, even the Spurs now, because like I said, LaMarcus Aldridge has been kind of disappointing. I don't think that there are going to be too many other super teams that can be created. The only other team that might be able to acquire a third star and actually look like something might be a team like the New Orleans Pelicans, or maybe even a team like maybe the Milwaukee Bucks. I know we talked about them last week, or for the last couple of weeks, really. But at the end of the day, I think we just have to get back to, hey, this is the guy. This is the guy we're rolling with, and we're going to build around him. Um, we don't need any additional stars. We just need to go get people who can play basketball. And in a sense, I could definitely agree with some of the principles of the Philadelphia 76ers, not all of them, but some of them, to where I understand why they went out and drafted all those bigs. I just don't think it made sense while it was happening. You know, that's the only thing I would say. It didn't make sense. But I mean, ultimately, that's what we need to get back to.
How soon or how, fast do you see something like that reestablishing itself within the National Basketball Association, sir?
I don't. I just hope that we get there. I don't think we'll get there though. How long do you think it's going to take? It's really going to probably take till LeBron retires. Really,
it's going to take another generational transition. So
how many?
I mean, it could turn out to be 30 years. But then again, at that time, we can have 10 super teams. But then again, at that point, at least, the playoffs would be a lot more competitive than what we got in this year.
I think eventually, and I'm hoping against this, but what if the CBA says, let's throw the salary cap away altogether? Could you imagine if we went baseball with it?
I mean, that's going to cripple a lot of these small market teams, though. Like, they're already crippled right now because of these big name players joining up with each other in other markets.
I mean, Big Baller Brand.
Oh, my. That's the second one you did, sir. The second one you did of that.
I mean, if you can't afford the players, you ain't a baller.
I ain't a baller then. I ain't a baller, and I'm proud of it.
No, but it would be interesting to see them do that. And you're right, small team markets would crumble, so that probably won't happen. But I can definitely see them going ahead and, of course, continually increasing the cap. I just think it's crazy to pay somebody that much money, and that's going to cripple the franchise too. Personally, in my opinion, that's why I would never want to pay somebody $200-300 million.
I mean, I really feel like it just cripples. I feel like that there, a lot of players just steal money from the league. I mean, you heard me reference it, a week ago, 2 weeks ago when we had, Q Mart on here. I mean, I still feel like Mike Conley kind of, sort of stole money and got away with it. I feel
I'm not sure about that one.
Once again, I mean, that's my opinion.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know about that one though. I think
but then again, that's more from how they ended up playing.
Well, let me ask you this: how many point guards that aren't older than him or veterans do you think would have been a better choice in that particular free agency, or in the upcoming free agency periods that the Grizzlies might actually get a chance at?
Well, they're not going to get a chance at any of them.
And that's why that amount is justified.
And that's why and I agree with that. But for me, I feel like it's justified because they don't want him to walk. But it's not justified because for me, he's being paid like a top 5 point guard in the league. and I don't feel like he is. I love his game. I enjoy playing as him when, I would play 2K back in the day. He's
Well, I mean,
nasty, but I feel
now
like
you
he's not worth the contract.
now you sparked an interesting conundrum here. I mean, who would be the top 5 point guards in the league right now?
See, and that's also leads to more issues because there's no such thing as pure point guards anymore.
Is Mike Conley a pure point guard, though? I think he is.
I think he is, and he's a dying breed. Him and Chris Paul are both a dying breed because what we mainly have now are scoring point guards.
So, I mean, technically, he might be a top 5, I guess, in their eyes, of course. Do you realize that you are a champion in their eyes?
Oh, yes, he did. He really said that and brought it up to the kids.
Yes, he did. But I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, you think about it, it's like maybe he really is a top 5 point guard, cut from the Chris Paul cloth. You're not buying it, though.
I'm not buying it because it's not like that anymore. That's not how the league works anymore.
I mean, maybe it's because he plays for the Grizzlies.
Then that more or less agrees with my argument then. If he feels like that he's a top 5 and the Grizzlies, you just said maybe it's because he played for the Grizzlies, but we can't see how he is if he plays for a different franchise.
Absolutely. I mean, I think he's a top 5 without question.
I mean, what number is he then in your books? Is he number 5 then? Is he like right there on that cusp at number 5? I think he's right there teetering.
I mean, it depends because now we're talking about adding point guards to the mix who aren't traditional point guards.
But
that's what you said.
Exactly. But that's what I said. That's why I said he's not a top 5 because he's not the traditional point guard isn't there anymore. Like Chris Paul, most likely for me, is going to be in that top 5 because of what all he can do.
I mean, who else would be there though?
I mean, we have to put the regulars, Steph, Russ,
Kyrie.
Like that's 3 right there.
And then right there, smack dab at number 5, Mike Conley. I mean, because James, I'll say this: the jury's still out on James Harden continuously playing point guard for the rest of his career.
Well, so he's not a point guard, he's playing point guard, but he's a shooting guard. Let's not do that.
That's like putting Giannis in this conversation.
Exactly, and then he'll be number 4, like by default.
Yeah, and that's ridiculous.
Then James Harden will be number 5.
Yeah, and then some people will be like, well, LeBron plays point.
Thank you. So. That's the problem about making these top 5 lists. If you're trying to do it based off the pure position, it becomes more difficult because certain analysts will analyze people that are a different position and apply that into it.
So, I mean, for me, it's just, I guess, and of course, we're going to get to max contracts after we go over the review. I guess somehow we should get back to the review of the finals. But it would be interesting to see what happens after LeBron leaves, not just Cleveland, but the NBA. And based on this quote unquote bug that he had in this last series, I'm
not gonna sit there and say that he's trying to be like Jordan. Like the whole Jordan LeBron debate is so out of it. Like he's a great player. Despite all of our criticism, he's a heck of a player.
Without question. I don't think we ever said that he wasn't. I just think that personally, Kareem is the best player of all time to me.
Kareem's the best. Bill Russell's the winningest. Michael Jordan is the most famously known, and LeBron James is the
most athletic.
Yeah, most athletic.
So who went? So we're going over this preview. I've heard several people say that the Cavs the Cavs are going to destroy the Warriors. And I'm not believing that. I'm not buying that brand. I don't think they have the heart. What do you think?
I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on the Cavs. Like there was a analyst, I believe it was from Hoop Stream, that said that the
You said
Warriors gonna.
sleeping?
They're sleeping on them.
Really?
Yes.
Well, it's because they. All right, go ahead. What did they say? Oh, God, that's so stupid.
So this one reporter basically culminated them losing 4 straight games in the NBA Finals with LeBron James because the Celtics managed to beat the Cavs in one game during the conference finals.
You mean that game that they threw on purpose?
The game that they threw on purpose, just like how they did to the year before with the Raptors. And just like how they did it for the entire, last 20 games of the season.
So ridiculous. They said that they're going to get swept, though?
They said they're going to get swept. The Warriors are the odds-on favorite. Like, let's not sit here and act like, we're trying to make everyone gullible. Like, the Warriors are the heavy favorites. Like, if you're in Vegas...
Well, that's because we're talking about...
The Warriors is house.
We're talking about... and of course, starting five-wise, I think the Warriors, as athletic as LeBron James is, I think the Warriors all over the place are athletic. And I feel like they might have lit a fire under JaVale McGee by saying that, I don't know if it was he wasn't smart enough to play this game or something along the lines of that. But I find it to be crazy when I think about it. You got Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Kevin Durant. 4 probably the most athletic players in the league together. True. With JaVale McGee, who, although isn't the same JaVale McGee that he was years ago, but he's also not terrible either.
Nope. Despite what Shaquille O'Neal always says.
Right. But my thing is the benches. You're going to say Richard Jefferson versus Andre Iguodala isn't a matchup problem? Darren Williams versus freaking, any of those young guys. I don't even like any of them. I don't.
They talked about that on Undisputed. They talked about who's gonna really guard. Kevin Durant's gonna get guarded by LeBron James. Kyrie's gonna have to stick on Steph Curry, or it's gonna end up being Iman Shumpert. But they're gonna try to have Cal Korver on the court as well too, and he's a defensive liability. Kevin Love's kind of a defensive liability, and that's what he's saying.
I think Kevin Love's gonna be on Durant.
Durant's gonna eat him for breakfast.
Then he'll just have Love sandwiches.
Oh, I see what you did there.
I was just saying, because when you think about it, LeBron and Draymond have to match up. They have to. Like, it's really, that's it. They have to they have to neutralize each other.
Neutralizing.
I went there.
Yep.
They have to. And Kevin Love's going to have to stick with Kevin Durant. Kev.
I think if they do that, they're going to be in a lot more trouble.
And then, Tristan Thompson will be playing JaVale McGee, which I think is another wash.
I think that could potentially definitely be a wash.
Yeah. Kyrie versus Steph. They both can dribble. It'll be interesting. But at the end of the day, it's like,
But you mentioned the bench. Tell us more about what you feel about the bench. Because
I
I
feel
feel
like
like that's the biggest part, and I feel like that's more advantage the Warriors.
that's what I was saying. I don't believe that the Cavs bench has really anything on the Warriors bench. Those young guys are really good. All of them, I feel like.
They are.
Um, Maybe with the exception of possibly one, but all of them are pretty legit.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out who's
Like,
the one though.
who's the one like Jet Li?
Yeah. Who's the odd man out?
You mean when the season's over,
Well,
or
you talk about their bench right now are all pretty
right?
good with young talent. You said with the exception of one.
Oh, that one guy that I don't know that guy's name. That's how bad he was. I think he played. I think he was a big. Let me look it up. Let's see. I don't know who that guy was. Let me see. It definitely wasn't any of the guards. Let's go here. What is your name, sir? I don't even see him on here, honestly.
Hilarious.
I don't even see him. The only person I see here, but I don't think it was him, is Kevin Looney. But I don't think it was him.
I don't even. He hasn't played in these playoffs.
Yeah, it wasn't him. It was somebody. It might have been Damon Jones. Their back, I guess, like their third or fourth string center. He's like the only person I would be like, all right, garbage time.
Yep.
But everybody else, Ian Clark, Patrick McCall.
Which
I
we're both
mean,
high on.
yeah, I mean, it's going down.
In fact, the
David
Warriors actually
West.
has the younger team altogether.
Yeah, David West. Sean Livingston.
Who's still
I mean,
probably one of the most unstoppable, back to the basket point guards in the game right now.
I would say that I would go on a limb to say I could see him possibly getting a max contract.
With the Warriors or other team?
Other teams.
I could probably see that. I could see that.
Yeah. I mean, because he's a solid player. I mean, if he can stay healthy, he's a solid player.
Well, let's talk about just what the team brings to the table. So, I don't know if folks out there knows this, but I love stats. I enjoy finding stats and coming up with calculations and doing comparisons and whatnot. So, on the Debates Among Friends Facebook page, www.facebook.com/debatesamongfriends, I posted out a graph. Well, not really a graph. It's a set of data for people to look at that
Sure.
showed, the per game numbers for both the Cavaliers and the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel if I told you that the Cavaliers shoot and make 3 more 3-pointers a game?
I would believe it this year.
But they
Only
also
because,
take 2.2 more 3-pointers a game.
yeah, I would believe it this year only because of the Kevin Durant factor. That would be it. That's really it. The Kevin Durant factor.
Kevin Durant
Um,
shooting 41% from 3.
yeah, but he makes the threes, but he's not really like a huge three taker.
Yes.
And that's why I would say, yeah. I mean, ultimately, that's how it would be. I could see that. But the Warrior, I mean, the Cavs, I would say Kyrie shooting more threes. Kevin Love definitely shot more threes this year. I feel like Kevin Love kind of came in. It's almost like he was a rookie again. He felt like a rookie again. And he went through the growing pains. It's like going from the Indies to the WWE, going through NXT.
I see what you did there. I mean, but
I'm just
Kevin
saying.
Kevin Love shooting 47% from 3.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of going back to really when he was a rookie
Yeah,
or a young player. He just it's almost like he hit the reset button. Reset.
terrible, terrible.
Reset. I mean, I can't say reset.
No, you can say whatever you want, sir. The people
Hey,
want to hear your voice.
I don't know about all that, but he hit the reset button.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we're all just trying to be like the Professor Jagaya, the King of RNG, the troll master himself, the data analyzing ninja.
Terrible. Terrible.
Hey,
Terrible.
don't you start that with me.
I started and I finish it.
I
But
mean, I'm just saying.
I mean,
it's like
look at it like this. Look at it like this. The Warriors steamrolled the West. Our Western Conference, which for the longest been, you know, the basically the measuring bar for how playoff basketball should be.
right.
This year, it was a joke, just like how the East was a joke.
It was. There's no question about it. It definitely was.
So heading into these finals, the expectation is pretty darn high
For the Warriors.
for the league.
I don't know.
You
I
don't
don't
feel
know,
like
bro.
that if this becomes a sweep or a a 5-game series that is completely lopsided the last 3 games? You
So I
don't
don't know
feel
about
like if
that.
that's you know that's not gonna hurt the league?
I would love that.
I mean, I loved it when it happened to the Heat.
But you don't think it could happen again to this cast? I don't think they're going to get swept. If anything,
Actually,
it
when
would.
I give my prediction, you will see what I have to say.
Sounds good. I'll hold off then. I won't say what I was going to
Because
say.
it's
Well, let's go
definitely.
straight into it. I mean,
I mean,
let's go to the predictions.
it's up to you, sir. This is your show.
But really, this is your show. I'm just a guest all the time.
All right, we're gonna stop that right now. But I mean, let's throughout all the different conversations we had, we talked about the benches, we talked about the star players, I mean, do we even need to talk about who's the main X factor in this whole thing? Because it is LeBron James. He is literally the only X factor throughout this whole game.
I would say Klay Thompson because another reason I would
I
say
think he's
Klay
an X
Thompson.
factor, but he's not the X factor.
Yeah, VX right there. I mean, he's pretty important, man.
No, he's important. He's an X factor, but he's not
You're just saying
the X factor.
if is LeBron gonna come and play basketball?
Exactly.
I can see that. I can see that.
But if Klay gets hot and the Warriors are still playing as efficiently offensively, on the offense as they have throughout these all playoffs, like this is going to turn into, and I use this term a lot, turn into kindergarten. Like they're going to beat them free.
I wanna get free. I wanna get free.
Like I'm gonna have my boy IFC Yipes talking about get your curly mustache on.
I would like that.
What, the Yipes part or the absolute destruction?
I would like the absolute destruction only because, like, I think you really alluded to it. Like, they really tried with Darren Williams and Kyle Korver and some of these veterans, and it's just like, it's so played.
Well, the problem is we've seen this time and time again with LeBron-led teams where if you're a playoff team and you spot someone coming off waivers and you want to try to get them, don't hold your breath because if you don't have LeBron James on your team, you're not getting them.
Yeah, and that was kind of, karma all around on some people. If you think about it, everybody they picked up, really, I mean, even Darren Williams got hurt. So, but I'm really interested in your prediction, though, sir. So, I mean, I really wish you would just cut the jaw jacking, as Denzel Washington would say. and give us the predictions.
All right.
Cut the jaw jacking.
So, tomorrow's game is and most likely will be the most competitive game of the whole series.
Wow. So you think somebody's feelings get hurt tomorrow?
Someone's going to get punched in the mouth.
Wow.
And that team does not have any kind of red in their jersey.
So you think the Warriors are going to get punched in the mouth?
No, I'm saying the Cavs going to get punched in the mouth.
Oh, I didn't know. The way you said it, it was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This series is going to go 5 or 6. And this is why I say this is why history is going to repeat itself. Remember the Spurs versus the Heat part 2?
Uh-huh.
Remember what happened, that absolute shellacking that I enjoyed because this was what the league needed?
When they were passing the ball all over the place and scoring left and right?
Where we went back to basic basketball.
Oh, yeah, I remember it. I remember.
We're going to have a repeat. The Warriors with their number 1 offense and number 2 defense in the playoffs is going to absolutely embarrass the Cavaliers. We're going to have a San Antonio versus Miami Heat again.
That's what you're going with.
The biggest motivating factor is revenge in
of course.
Sports.
I mean,
the Warriors
honestly, I think
felt like they should have won last year. And they got lax. They had a lot of bad luck. You know, Game 7 was just, I mean, as people say, the greatest, Game 7 in NBA Finals history.
Mm-hmm.
But the Warriors felt like they should have closed it out. They still had an injured Steph to deal with. The whole Draymond Green issue. They're fully loaded now.
They are.
That's why I'm giving the Cavs 1 or 2 games.
Who's at home first?
Yeah, it's the Warriors. Come on. And that's the other reason too. Like, the Cavaliers underachieved this whole year. They coasted all the way up to the Eastern Conference Finals.
They did. I mean, there's no question. There's no denying that. They definitely did. I'm gonna go 6 too. I just think that this particular year, they don't have that Dellavedova factor. Even though at some points he was a non-factor. But he made a lot of plays, though, both years.
He did.
I like the addition of Kyle Korver, but if you get into a three-point contest, you're going to rely on Kyle Korver and J.R. Smith, who, don't get me wrong, I mean, one game, J.R. might go...
You have to be careful because people might lose their minds up in here. I mean, don't get me wrong. J.R. Smith might go hot. But I mean, what are we talking about? Are you really sitting there just... Did you really just say that you're really dependent on J.R. Smith getting hot, though? Seriously?
That's what the Cavs would be depending on.
That's terrible. That's a huge gambit right there.
I agree wholeheartedly.
So now, if he goes, 0 for 20, because he'll sit there and jack up 3-pointers like it's, snow falling down on a crisp winter's day in New Jersey. The Warriors gonna eat them alive, unless Tristan Thompson's playing the entire game, getting these long rebounds, which I don't think he can actually do that the entire series.
Now let me ask you, because I'm thinking about this, as we talk about them. Do they have Larry Sanders?
I don't think so. And if they do, he hasn't played.
Right, and I'm wondering if they're. Let's see here. I wonder if he's actually there, or did he get hurt, or because I feel
Apparently,
like they
oh,
might be.
actually, they cut him.
Oh, okay, they cut him. Okay, got it. That's what I was about to say. Like, I feel like they might have been holding him for a.
Nope. Nope.
Okay,
Nope.
gotcha. Got it. Interesting. Interesting. But my prediction is similar. I do think it will end in 6. I'm gonna go 6. No more than 6. Definitely not going to 7.
No.
Um,
Everyone wants to
I
go to
think
7, and I agree. Like, it going to 7 is probably the best thing Adam
for
Silver
basketball, yeah.
and the NBA can happen. You know, I mean, either that or rehire Joey Crawford so he can actually make it a Game 7.
But that would just make us so angry because I don't like I wouldn't want a forced game 7, and that's the one thing. Like, don't patronize my basketball IQ and my sports IQ with these terrible calls, and don't water down the game. Like, I don't want to see that. Don't water down the game. Like, tell them not to water down the game.
I mean, the NBA is still apologizing to the Sacramento Kings.
Don't do it. That's what I'm saying. Don't do that to us because it's like if they're supposed to lose free, let them lose free.
Let them lose free.
Yeah.
Let them lose free.
It's not our fault that, and it's not our fault that Kevin Durant went over to the Warriors. But if you're telling me that Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, David West, Draymond Green, all these players combined can't beat that sorry Cavs team, I'm not buying it.
I mean, I wouldn't say
This
they're
is
sorry Cavs team, but
no, it's a sorry Cavs team. Like this, the East is terrible, and I'll if the NBA wants to make the league better, they will fix it so that the East becomes stronger.
mm-hmm.
That means we got to get back to strong New York basketball, strong Chicago basketball. I don't care if they even go strong Detroit, strong Orlando, like however we got to do it. We got to get back to stronger basketball because this is so weak. This is SAWFT. Soft.
I did it for the Rock.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
So we're both saying the Warriors at max
6. I'm saying 6.
Okay,
Yeah,
I said at max 6. It's the Cavs are at least gonna get one game at home.
I would say that the Warriors beat the Cavs in Cleveland if it falls that way.
Well, this is why I said, don't be surprised if it turn out to be a sweep because
it would be
like, first of all, the anger that I have towards the Cav Nation would be completely justified if they lose 4 games straight, and then the last game that they lost is on their home court.
So what I'm thinking is it's going to be Warriors winning 2 at home. They split Cleveland.
Yep.
3-1. Then the Cavs might come back and win game 4. Game 5.
Yep.
And then Warriors ended in game 6. Or in Cleveland.
This is why I said game 5. 5 games. That same scenario, they split it in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
The whole narrative up to game 5 is, remember, don't forget the 3-1. The meme's going to start coming out. Don't forget the 3-1. You remember when the Warriors lost 3-1? And then the Warriors destroy the Cavaliers by 50.
And then, so basically, I turned the game on late and play the division.
Basically.
Well, that's absolutely wonderful.
The rage, the anger, the drive to want to just shut up these pompous, trolls. And we're not talking about the troll master John Gotti because he has the facts to back up the
Well,
trolling.
it's really think about what it really would do is number one, Kevin Durant would get an asterisk for joining the Warriors.
He's going to get an asterisk if they win either way.
Yeah, LeBron's going to get an asterisk on this one because Kevin Durant joined the Warriors. So, I mean, it's still the excuses that are going to come out. If the Warriors if the Warriors sweep the Cavs, the excuses are going to come out. Oh, LeBron's still the greatest. That doesn't matter, you know. And I think,
Like, what does that have to do with this? He
our
lost.
friend,
In fact, if he's the greatest, he's the
Kiki,
greatest MVP to lose 5 finals. Yep, he's
true.
definitely the greatest.
I think our friend Kiki mentioned would people let LeBron pass if they lose this finals?
A lot of people would.
Some people wouldn't, and that's the unfortunate part.
I can't let him pass on this finals.
I mean, I don't let anybody pass on anything. So,
I mean, he's the reigning, defending
oh God,
NBA champion. He's part of that team. You made it back to the finals. Been to the finals, what, 8 times?
19 times, yeah.
19 times.
19 times.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just saying, he just dominated 19 times. Ric Flair status.
Nope. Don't ever put LeBron James and Ric Flair ever in the same sentence. You should be ashamed of yourself.
That's because Rick won it and LeBron didn't.
This is true.
But I mean,
But
that's our
I
prediction
can't
there.
give
That's the
him
preview.
a pass, though. At all. Like, do you give him a pass if he was to lose? And why?
I don't give him. I haven't given him a pass since the second or third one. I mean, I don't really understand why we even up to like people. Oh, he been to 7 and 8 straight finals. Is like, but he didn't win them all.
He didn't win them all at all.
So it's like, who cares? And if anything, it's like, oh God, like, please, let's get a new. It's like, let's get something new going. I'd rather see the Milwaukee Bucks make it.
I would love to see the Milwaukee. I would rather see a non-LeBron team come out of the East for the NBA Finals.
Without question.
Like, as much as people go, oh, I'm tired of seeing Steph Curry in the finals, he's only in 3 finals. LeBron's been in 9. Why are you tired of Steph? Seriously? That doesn't make any sense. Why are you being stupid?
Balling.
Yeah, they're balling on LeBron's jockstrap.
Balling.
Oh, wait. Can I say that, Heather?
Probably not.
She said I'm not allowed to say that. I apologize.
Yeah, I didn't think you were allowed to say that. Come on, John Gotti.
But I mean, they're sitting there riding on his baloney pony.
Oh, wow.
They riding his pony.
I'm sure Heather's like literally finding you right now.
She is giving me the delete right now.
Delete. I mean, you're literally robbing her right now.
Oh my gosh.
Really, you're robbing her.
Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable. Believe it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I like to leave people, with a false sense of security, a la Trojan.
Wow.
And then sweet-kin them down.
Well, I mean, we all have to try to show as much potential as the great Kali.
No, you lost that one. No, that doesn't work at all. No, that was terrible. That was terrible.
I'm sorry.
I can't believe it.
Oh my God. All right, so I know we have a couple more topics to talk about. I mean, we gave our predictions. Obviously, the games start tomorrow. Can't wait.
Give them the time, sir.
You said give them.
When does it begin and what time? What channel? Tell them where. Give them the information. The people are in my ears telling me to ask you to give them the information for the NBA Finals 2017.
Okay, the NBA Finals. Cavaliers versus Warriors. Thursday, June 1st, 2017. 9 p.m. on ABC. Going to be in the Oracle Arena in Oakland, home of the Golden State Warriors and Beast Mode.
This is true.
Boom. But we do have some other topics here to definitely talk about.
Let's talk about it.
One in which, obviously, we usually the name Harrison Barnes comes up, the Chandler Parsons of the world, the Jerome James's. The potential max deal. That's the new topic of discussion. Who is going to get that max deal?
Who? I mean, everyone, technically speaking, can get a max deal these days.
But who? Who? Who?
You did not just go there. You did not just do that. Tell me you didn't just do that.
I mean, one name came out so far. Obviously, outside of the regular players, the Gordon Haywoods and those kind of players. But, I mean, how do you feel about Nerlens Noel potentially getting a max deal?
I think he'll get a max deal just based off of just what he can be versus what he actually done.
And that's the thing, I don't know, because, I mean, offensively, I never thought he was great. Is he another one of those defensive guys?
I don't know. But, I mean, maybe it's just his agent just trying to gas him up to make teams look at him like, you know what? Maybe he is worth the hype. Maybe he is worth a max contract. I mean, for all we know, that could just be just his agent just gassing it up.
True. Well, let's look at some other players. Now, obviously, we have some proven players that are going to be free agents. And I'm just going down a list here just to see, who might be. Like, who could be? What would you think if Serge Ibaka got a max deal? Serge Ibaka.
Serge Ibaka falls into that Chandler Parsons.
Ooh.
Scenario.
Not even Harrison Barnes.
No.
Wow. That is. I mean, I think he's not that. He hasn't been that good. I think once he left Oklahoma City,
his value decreased. But if someone's gonna give him a max contract, though.
How about Jeff Teague?
I think he's gonna be a max contract player.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh. I'm gonna throw two names here. I'm giving you one at a time, of course. Drew Holiday.
See, that's the problem with the Pelicans. They want to keep him.
Right.
But they also still want to keep Boobie Cousins.
I mean, Cousins, but see, they can sign Cousins and then go over the cap for Drew Holiday. So, I mean, I don't know if that's, I don't know.
Then who else do they have?
I mean, obviously, they have Anthony Davis.
We know the most recognizable people. I'm talking about the other people.
They got Omer Ashik, and I think Solomon Hill was a guy that was taking up a lot of the cap. But it doesn't matter because they would just go over the cap and pay the taxes. The
luxury.
Yeah, the luxury tax. I mean, it stinks, but I mean, could go for it. But let's move on, though. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
This is always an interesting one. When I hear his name, obviously, I think about how great he was supposed to be. JJ Redick.
He's not getting a max contract, but he's definitely leaving the Clippers.
Let's see if I can find one more shocker.
Otto Porter Jr. Is he a max contract player?
I was thinking about saying his name, but I think out of the people that I may have listed, he would be the one that would, even more than Nerlens Noel, or Noel Nerlens, however you say his name.
Noel. Yep.
Yeah, it's a weird one. That's a weird name, bro. Come on. He would be the one that I would say, hey, you might want to give him a max contract. The last one that I would think is a really interesting one, and somebody might take a huge risk on him. Huge. And this will be the last one for me.
Andre Roberson.
All right, Chris, cut the show. I'm not even answering anymore. Just come on.
Oh my gosh. No, you really mean Jonathan Simmons. I
do mean Jonathan Simmons. That's a huge risk.
It is a huge risk.
But he stepped up to the challenge. I would say he stepped up to the plate when they needed somebody. It wasn't effective to the point where it got them a win, but he played some pretty serious defense. I can see the Dallas Mavericks going all in on him.
I can see that. The Mavericks definitely are willing to make a, huge gamble. They already started with Harrison Barnes. Mm-hmm. Why not do it again?
Why not? So, I mean, ultimately, the max deals, I'm interested to see, obviously, you're going to see big names, Chris Paul, Kyle Lowry, some of the bigger names, Blake Griffin, going to get ridiculous money. But some of those other guys, I'm just curious, who's going to take a chance on some of these guys?
Who?
And then Q's boy, Mirotic.
Oh!
I mean, does he get a max deal too? I mean, you get a max and you get a max. Everybody gets a max.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Like, that goes back to what I was saying about players stealing money from franchises. That's not even worth the ink that was written on the check.
Terrible. But I feel you, though. But terrible. I would say people want to throw this money out. I'm hoping that it makes the NBA better. That's all I can say.
I mean, I guess though, yeah.
That's all I can hope. That it makes the league better. Whatever moves are made this offseason, I hope that it makes the Knicks. The Knicks.
I bet you're looking at
No, I'm not looking at anything. That was a legit Freudian slip.
I don't know about that.
That was a legit Freudian slip. But I'm hoping that the league gets better.
There you go.
Not the Knicks. Not so much the Knicks, but the league gets better.
Wow, really, bro? Really? Dang it!
I robbed you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh goodness.
The doctor with the Trojan Act.
See, that's now that you say it the second time, that's not really that good either.
I know, and that's why I said it.
Yeah, don't say it again. You're like the great Kali. Yeah, it's not
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna say it again.
I think mine was a lot better than that one.
It was kind of ugly, but I'll let you pass. It's all good.
Oh goodness.
So our last topic
Last
of
topic.
discussions. John Mara, who is the owner of the New York Football Giants, made a bold statement. I can't say if it's bold. It might be borderline
Nuts?
kind of stupid. Yeah, like stupid. Stupid.
Like, so
But
ballsy that it actually burst in his face?
but when you, I mean, that's just terrible. But when you think about it, oh,
Oh, talking
sure.
about facial.
Oh my god, I can't believe
I'm
you went
sorry,
there.
Helen. I had to.
Helen,
I
oh
had
god,
to.
that's so terrible. Classless. But
Speaking of
Chama,
classless people, talk more about this Giants front office person.
now I wonder though, and I'm just wondering, and of course I'm just wondering out loud, if he represents how other owners feel. And I'm gonna say exactly what he, I mean, what he said. I mean, in a nutshell,
Say it.
people. Let me see if I can find the exact quote
You
here.
might need to find the exact quote. Let's not.
I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to. First of all, he wrote, "All my years being in the league, I never received more emotional mail from people than I did about this issue. If any of your players ever do that, we are never coming to another Giants game. If it wasn't one or two letters, it was a lot." Oh, he said it wasn't one or two letters, it was a lot. "It's an emotional issue for a lot of people, more so than other issues I ran into." The Giants signed kicker Josh Brown to a new contract after he was arrested for domestic violence and kept him on the team last year after he was suspended for domestic violence.
Yep.
It's extraordinary that Mara says he heard more from fans about Kaepernick, a player on another team who didn't do anything illegal, than than anything about Brown.
My
And right here, this
gosh.
article says that Mara's comments say a lot about Kaepernick's continuing unemployment.
Because it's a reflection of how the league looks at the issue. That's all it is.
I mean, now, is it the league now, or I mean, because I know
It's it's
somebody in
it's NFL
somebody's
team front offices, and he's basically conveying what they would say in little hush conversations. Like, the PC version of it is, he's probably just not the right fit for us. We're trying to look at a
right,
different direction and stuff like that. He
sure,
basically stated what possibly certain teams
right,
would say, not only within their own groups in that corporation, but also within
hmm
other teams, to blacklist someone of Colin Kaepernick's facade.
and that kind of stinks. I got and that's the part where I can see why people on Facebook are saying, "Oh, boycott this, boycott that." Well, first of all, I love the game of football, and I
Absolutely.
understand, and I talk to people about this often, as the topic of layoffs come up often, and I think the one thing that you have to keep in mind is that it's all, unfortunately, business. Of course, some of it is personal reflection of how you were brought up,
Yes.
and then how you live your life.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it is business. Because you have to think about it. Even if Colin Kaepernick could help a team reach the Super Bowl, would they take him? Maybe.
Probably
Would
not.
people for?
They
Would
they,
people
they,
for?
they probably wouldn't do it just because it's Colin Kaepernick.
Think. Well, see, here's and I guess to Mara's point, and this is where it gets kind of weird because when you go back a couple of years, let's jump in our DeLorean and go back a couple of years. Michael Vick
Michael Vick.
was a he was found guilty of this quote unquote organized crime of dogfighting, but he just saw he was not even there during this dogfighting. So it's kind of weird, you know. So to me, it's just like, you know, it's kind of weird to me at least. And then you have somebody like Ben Roethlisberger who did something similar.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure. It's kind of weird.
So I mean, then are we looking at it more of a bottom line kind of scenario then?
That's the part where I'm not sure.
Because it's starting to
That's the,
sound like it's more of a bottom line scenario than a what is it that person did that's going to affect the league's public image.
and it's tough, man, because everybody's going straight race.
And it's not. It's not.
And you know, some people made some compelling arguments.
And the reason I
If
say
you
it's
look at,
not because I don't want us to just instantly look at it as race.
of course,
Like we need to, have a process of elimination before we just go straight to race.
I agree. Personally, I think it was after Ryan Fitzpatrick got signed by the Bucks. It was 20 something touchdowns, 18 interceptions. It was something really terrible. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like the numbers were terrible. And then you look at Kaepernick's numbers. But I think the one thing that people don't take into consideration is that the 49ers weren't winning,
Nope.
you know. And kneeling, I'm just not sure. Like I said, we were both kind of like, is this the right idea? You know, like, is this the right thing to do? And don't get me wrong, he brought a lot of attention to himself. He brought a lot of attention, but I don't think it did any good to the cause of what African Americans go through on a regular basis.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it kind of didn't do anything for us. I mean, I'm sure people are like, "Oh, I roll with Colin." I mean, I'm happy he, did what he had to do, and I'm happy other people joined him. But was it successful?
Great question.
I would even go as far as to say I wouldn't be surprised if he was paid to do it
But by who?
by the owners.
Self-exile kind of thing?
Did you think about it? I mean,
Or exiled through payment?
yeah. Like, think about it like this. Imagine if the owners got together and said, "Oh, we gotta come up with something, man. Everybody's riding this concussion thing.
Mm-hmm.
We need a distraction." Here comes Colin Kaepernick. Who's talking about concussions anymore? You know what I mean? Like, isn't that ironic?
No, that's just sad, and it's genius on a business standpoint.
Hmm.
I mean, what better way to, you know, diminish the amount of anger or attention towards a particular subject, one of high sensitivity as, concussion protocol and CTEs and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
than to
And then
have,
you have,
someone who has a reputation, an okay quarterback, had a year or so where he was literally the new kid on the block.
he was in the Super Bowl.
and now it's starting to decline into Milli Vanilli status. Have him do
One,
something.
we're talking about one play away from being a Super Bowl champion.
One play away. One play away to not only being a Super Bowl champion, but changing the dynamics of NFL forever.
It's crazy to me. It's crazy. I don't know. I would love to have a full-on debate with other people about this.
I think so too. I think we need to have not only sports fans, but just people who look at it not as a person who loves the game of football, but someone who has a pretty good understanding of sociology, if you get my hint.
Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying. I would be intrigued if certain individuals were brought into this discussion and debate.
I mean, it could be a trilogy type of conversation to have.
I mean, we're definitely on the same page. I don't know why you had to go there with it. I understand. That was a good one, though. It was a good one.
Did you get the reference?
I knew exactly where you were going the first time you said it, so I don't know why you. I don't know why you did that.
I don't know why you did that. I didn't do that. Yeah.
No, it was good. I got it. So, those were our 3 topics for today.
They are.
Your final thoughts, sir?
Well, I watched Combo Breaker 2017, which was this past weekend, which was awesome.
Combo Breaker.
Yes, and that game was part of the list. The Street Fighter 5 top 8 was Evo-like.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun. Best set of the entire tournament was Liquid Knuckle versus Snake Eyes. Like, it was absolutely awesome. Their grand finals matchup and their winners finals matchup.
Okay.
Absolutely awesome. To see Snake Eyes, who is making such a strong, compelling argument that he wants to take Evolution 2017 or even Capcom Cup. He has literally the best Zangief in the world. Hands down. The best Zangief in the world. It's really hard to compete with him. Once he gets in, he's all up in you, and you're going to feel the geef all night long. And I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that sounded nasty. Helen,
yeah, that was terrible.
I apologize for that, but it's a true fact. Snake Eyes is no scrub. But he combined that with his Akuma as well too, which, I mean, Akuma I think is still the most fun character in the game. I mean, Demon Flip for days.
Hilarious.
Our boy Smug placed 3rd in the tournament, which is pretty solid. Like I said, he still is my pick for Evolution 2017. He's definitely stepping up his game. I love seeing the young bucks, and I don't mean the young bucks too sweet. Making their way up into the world, in the world of Street Fighter 5. And Justin Wong placed 5th.
Yeah, boy.
Actually, our other boy placed 7th, and he actually won a different game, and it's Evil Genius's own Christopher G.
My man, Chris G.
Other notable things that I seen was Sonic Fox being Sonic Fox in Injustice 2. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. He's coming for you.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my final thought. I did get a chance to play some Injustice 2, taking a weekend off from Doc and Prof playing the Division, which please, if you're out there and you want to join Doc and Prof at level 30, please join us
Probably have
on
to
Twitch.
probably have to give them the gamer tag
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
that's
like that.
that's what I was about to do. I mean,
Oh.
until Professor
I
John
was like,
Gotti
they're just gonna
interrupted
sit
me.
there and just wander Xbox Live all day long, just looking for us.
Literally, literally just Triple H'd me.
Actually, really quickly too, Sonic Fox also won the Skullgirls Second Encore tournament as well.
Well, before I get into that, what do you think Sonic Fox is going to play at Evo this year to be in that Mortal Kombat?
Ah, that's a good question. I
I'm
don't know
interested.
yet. I don't know
Yeah, I'm
yet.
interested to see. But yeah, I mean, so we got a chance to play Division. Obviously on Twitch, I'm Dr. Wednesday Night, and that guy over there, that's the Professor John Gotti. He's a certified G. All
And
he does is
we
win.
stream our games on the Debates Among Friends Twitch page. Just type in Debates Among Friends and you should be able to find us.
Like that page, subscribe to that page, and tell us how we can be better on all of our social
Absolutely.
media platforms. On Facebook, as the Professor John Gotti mentioned, facebook.com/Debates Among Friends. Of course, on Twitter, Debates Amongst Friends.
See, now you're doing it now.
And I'm the doctor at TL Double. This guy right here, Ken86, which or you can just type in Professor John Gotti. His face will pop up. But yeah, I got a chance to play the Injustice 2, and
Which is the
you
game
know,
that Sonic Fox will play.
which I mean, like I said, it's interesting. I feel like the move sets are a little simpler than some of the other games. Like I
Uh,
feel like I can actually do them.
oh
I,
my! Was that a was that a Killer Instinct jab right there? I feel like that was a Killer
uh,
Instinct jab.
I feel like I can actually do them.
Oh
Um,
my gosh!
yeah, but I felt like I can actually do it. I would have to learn how to do the combos and everything, but um, it's not bad. I really enjoyed. Like I told you, I was playing the story mode, which I'm sorry, folks. Dr. Wednesday Night tried to get online for some Twitch on Saturday and Sunday, but I don't know why Xbox has been a little weird lately.
Xbox doesn't
Uh,
use Twitch to broadcast anymore. They use a thing called Beam.
you can still Twitch though. You can still technically Twitch.
Oh no! Well, don't say it like that.
I mean, son of a Twitch. I don't know.
Son of a Twitch.
Um, but if you get a chance to play it, I definitely recommend it. The story mode, so I'm only on the Harley Quinn part, but even playing with her was pretty sweet. I didn't know how playing with the whole two guns thing. Oh, bazing, two guns. But it's pretty sweet.
Hmm.
But yeah, other than that, I also think that the division is sweet. Obviously, we're almost at the last level. We haven't collected everything, but we really dominated that game.
Absolutely. I feel like that. I had a great time. It was fun. It was.
I mean, that's really where the styles clash.
Oh, I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe he said that. I don't even know why I'm apologizing for it. That's his favorite move.
And just like that, it seems like the show just ended without a song.
Oh, because everyone got a prize.
Terrible. But another great show, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what this great show needs? It needs a great outro track, and Marcus D has provided us with the track 400 Years of Perseverance featuring Javier Starks from his newest album, Melancholy Prequel, Rising Sun Redux. It was actually released in April of this year. Be sure to support him. Also support the group Croup, who is our intro track as well too. We really haven't mentioned them since about the first 3 episodes of the podcast, but be sure to follow them. The link is in the description of the YouTube, so be sure to catch that on there. Once again, we want to leave you with Marcus D, and we thank you very much for joining us tonight. I am the Professor John Gotti.
And the Frozen Doctor.
The Frozen Doctor. I can't believe he went there, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll catch you again. Same debate time, same debate channel. Peace and love.
Juices.
Travel like cable was connected like Comcast. I be walking down the divine path. I laugh cause that wasn't how I was designed. Trapped world, the other option is suicide. So it's do or die. Shooting magic when the two collide. Power I can utilize. I farm gems like niggas still providing them supersize. You can share the booth with I. Cause these days it's hard to tell if a rapper's telling the truth or not. An MC, so they move aside. I push hard. I block like Link. Soon the pigs will be neutralized. No help with this. Fighting the desire to retire, still a bit of flop in the fuselage. They fall back like shooting stars. I'ma make it and I'll show you. You ain't living if you live in denial. They keep forgetting pride is your rival. It's survival of the fittest. Troubles brewing in the trenches. They desire a pacifier for sickness when it's fire in the kitchen. Won't float, I take it in my boys before becoming a grown man. I swear, a long life is a slow dance. A bloody tango with delicate romance. I know how it is to be without. Life sucks when you say you're going home and that doesn't even mean a house. Get them little mockingbirds, something. It took a while to get me here. Sadly, I took the scenic route. I seen a lot for a person my age. I hustled at high stakes and know I villains say that crime pays. Fighting the system, blind rage. The only actual casualty in the battle that I wage. Some say life's a sport, but we make the calls. Earth's home base and heaven knows I overcame it all. Upcoming trials versus Satan, the plaintiff. Y'all playing the defendant, I'm persecuting, he take the loss. I ain't never had it easy. Driving down the road like they passing any passenger that's needy. That's what happens when you greedy. Had to kill the dead weight, can't let a cadaver get in between me and my dreams. So like Lilo and Stitch, best believe I'm shooting for 'em. Getting tighter with every squeeze. They can't move me. Searching for a set of keys that go in. My vision would never let me leave. The way I see it, need to reach the light at the end of the tunnel. I rise up from the mezzanine. That's ebony and ivory. Surviving is my specialty. The best of me, I gotta give it. It's my destiny.